Welcome to episode 4 of A Head Full of Coldplay, the podcast where music meets memory and Coldplay becomes the soundtrack to our lives. This is where we share real life stories from fans across the globe about how they first discovered the band, the songs that struck a chord, and the moments when Chris, Johnny, Guy, and Will felt less like global icons and more like companions through life's highs and lows. Whether you have been there since parachutes or just recently stumbled upon my universe, this space is all about the comfort, joy, and connection Coldplay's music brings to our world. I'm your host, Ayush Sharma, and I'm beyond excited to be joined by my brilliant co host and fellow Coldplayer, Asha Denny, tuning in from the UK.
Hello.
Hi. And so, our fourth guest in this podcast series is Julian from Bremen, Germany, who is working as a mechanic and trying to get into a more commercial job in that industry. He is an important member of Coldplay Twitter and loves to post about the band on his timeline. It's his love for Coldplay that truly stands out, a passion so genuine that it's made him one of the most cherished voices in the Coldplay community. So, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
So amazing. I mean, I'm going to start with a very cliched question, but it's an important one. Looking back, what was the moment Coldplay first truly clicked for you? Was it a single song playing late at night or an entire album that, felt like it was speaking only to you? What drew you in? What was that the vulnerability in the lyrics or the atmosphere of the music or the emotion it stirred up in you?
Yeah, it's actually very simple. Um, the first song I ever heard was Viva la Vida. That was like my childhood Coldplay song.
Mhm.
And like the songs that were on the radio 24/7, like Sky Full of Stars or whatever. But the first time I actually encountered Coldplay as a band, and not just like the song of them, was in 2022 in September. I was checking my local cinema's website, and there was a live broadcast from Argentina in October, and yeah, I knew the name Coldplay, and so I just said, okay, let's have a look, and bought a ticket. And that was the time where I really actively started listening to their music. So I remember being totally addicted to Paradise and Clocks around that time. Clocks is one of my absolute favorite songs to this day. And yeah, I saw the movie. The cinema was completely full, and I said, yeah, one day I want to experience that like in real life. So yeah, I became very addicted to their music. I was listening 24/7 to nothing else, and I still think about what would have happened if I would have never seen the movie, like if I would have missed out on this. But yeah, I have no idea. I'm just very thankful that they did the live stream and that I was able to got into Coldplay. Yeah.
When did Coldplay's music stop being just music and start become something personal? Can you remember the moment their songs began to echo something deeper in your lives? Maybe it was a line that put words to what you were feeling, or a melody that became the backdrop to a turning point.
Um, yeah, so I think when I started getting more into them, like after the live stream and between the live stream and my first Coldplay show in Amsterdam, that was the time where I discovered um their whole discography, their rare songs, B-sides, whatever, and I watched concert videos the whole day, and so that was like the preparation for the concert. And when I saw them, that was insane. Like that was a really defining moment. I felt like I was, yeah, when you're in a concert, you feel like you're part of a bigger thing. Like, and that was the moment I realized that Coldplay was not just a regular artist for me.
Amazing. So now you have talked about Coldplay being your love. Is there one Coldplay song or album that feels like it was, written just for you. Maybe, it captures a version of you, past or present, or, mirrors an emotion you have never been able to talk about. Was it about that piece of music that still stops you, in your tracks, no matter, how many times you hear it?
Yeah, it's for my Twitter friends, it's quite obviously it's Everyday Life, the song and the album. And I think the reason it is so good is because it's not written for anyone, not for the general public, but for those who appreciate a more intimate, more experimental album. I feel like that's what Everyday Life is. It feels like a love letter from the band to themselves, but also to the true hardcore fans. So that's about the album and the song, Everyday Life. Uh, I discovered it quite late I think it was after Amsterdam when I really discovered Everyday Life as an album and thought, well, I think that's my favorite. Uh, it describes, it describes a big part of my life, 4 years or so, where I felt a little lost and like I don't belong anywhere. So I was really the lyric, um, what in the world are we going to do is like that hit when I first heard it, and that was like, oh, that's actually a good description of these 4 years that I just finished. Yeah, I have to say it like that. That's why I always talk about this album and the song, and I want to get it for Songbook. I tried it last year. I will try it again in Wembley, and I hope that Chris recognizes that it's actually a good song. Yeah, and not like Everglow.
Has Coldplay ever been a companion during your hardest days, whether it was grief, heartbreak, or just feeling lost? Was there a time when one of their songs felt like a hand on your shoulder or a quiet understanding? What lyrics became your anchor, and how did the music help you hold on?
Yeah, I think there are a few albums. Ghost Stories, obviously, the number one Heartbreak album. Uh, there are a few times when I needed Ghost Stories, needed to listen to it. Like True Love, Another's Arms, that's really emotional at some point. But another song is maybe Up and Up. Also my first songbook I ever got, but the whole meaning of the song, Don't Ever Give Up, that's a big motivation sometimes. And yeah, Everyday Life, I have to name it as well. It's like when you listen to it, it's just a few minutes of, you know, silence, of peace, like like an escape from everything that's going on right now. Yeah.
Are there any songs that felt like time machines for you, taking you straight back to a moment? Maybe it's the song that was playing during your first love, a long drive home, or right after a major shift. Which Coldplay tracks are forever tied to a personal memory, and what's the story behind that connection?
Yeah. So I have three songs, I would say. One is My Universe. That's actually not a good memory. It's tied to the heartbreak thing I talked about last year, but because the person I used to date was a huge BTS fan, and My Universe was a favorite Coldplay song. So yeah, especially because we were living quite far away, it was like some kind of connection, this song between us, and yeah, with that gone, I think I never really listened to My Universe after that, like for one year maybe. Then a good memory is Feels Like I'm Falling in Love, not only because Moon Music is the first album ever that I'm a part of on Twitter and in the fandom, but it's like the Coldplay song of last year. I heard it live 5 times, and it is just tied to everything that happened at the concert last year, or the 5 shows. And every time I listen to it, it just transports me back to Düsseldorf and Munich and to everything that we experienced there. Yeah, and one thing I have to say it again, Everyday Life. The song that really made me want to play the piano again after I think 10 years, and I started playing again, and it was the first song I fully finished and played on my own. Yeah.
Amazing. Now, do you remember your very first Coldplay concert? What was the energy in the room, like when the lights dimmed and the first chord rang out? Was there a moment you'll never forget? Maybe a song you'd been waiting for years to hear live, or just the overwhelming feeling of being surrounded by people who get it?
Yeah, so I said it before, it was in Amsterdam in 2023. I had a really, yeah, I had luck that I got a seat for like way too much money, so on some shitty platform, I don't know. But I got in and I had a seat in the back, so I could see the light show very good. And seeing this for the first time and seeing Clocks for the first time, which was my favorite song in that time, was I don't know, I don't remember much from the concert except that I was just really um going crazy. But you may think in the seats there are not like the hardcore fans that go crazy to every song, but actually in my block where I was, there were so many people at every age. Like right next to me was a couple that was like 50 years old. On the right was a girl that was 20 years old, and they were all going so crazy about every song. It was insane. Uh, I never felt that before, and that was really a feeling of unity and um, yeah, I don't want to say friendship because I don't know them, but it really connects people from every age or background. Yeah.
Has being a Coldplay fan ever brought unexpected people into your life? Sometimes music forges connection that run deeper than we ever imagined. Have you met friends, partners, or even formed an entire community through your love for the band? Share the relationships that were born out of this shared devotion. Devotion. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was on Twitter for many years, but after Amsterdam, I posted some photos and videos from the show. And a few days later, a few people from Coldplay Twitter followed me, and that was the time where I joined Coldplay Twitter. And I mean, I have to say it was by accident because I didn't know it would happen, but it was the best accident that could ever happen. Yeah, I connected with so many people. Like I don't know, I know so many people from Twitter from all around the world. And if I would see them, uh, if they were standing in front of me, I could say, "Oh yeah, I know you." Like that's very amazing. Um, yeah, we became close friends. Some of them became close friends, and uh, last year I met so many of them in Düsseldorf for the first time, and even more in Munich, and that was insane. So I have quite severe social anxiety, but whenever I'm with my Coldplay friends or whenever I'm at a concert, that just goes away. So yeah, that's really amazing what online friendships can do to someone. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Now, you have talked about how Coldplay has helped you in, several situations, but, how has Coldplay's evolution as artists, mirrored your own growth as a person, from their early introspective soundscapes to their more expansive, experimental phases. Coldplay's discography has shifted with time. Have you ever felt that their changing music has grown alongside you, like, reflecting shifts in your mindset, values, or emotional world? Are there any specific albums or artistic choices that resonated with you at different stages in your life?
Yeah, because I'm quite new to the fandom, I haven't experienced many album eras, but the music of the Sphere's Moon Music era is really feels the most personal to me because I was and I still am part of it. I joined the fandom. I That was really the start of everything, and I don't know how to describe it, really, but moon music is, or music of this era is the era that I resonate the most with. So I will, the whole moon music teasing and releasing era, everyone going crazy on Twitter, and when they changed the fucking profile picture or whatever there was, or an email that was sent by accident teasing the album release date. Moon music was really crazy, and yeah, that is probably the era that I feel most connected to. Yeah.
Amazing. Now, last question for you, Julian. If you had to choose one era of Coldplay's music that defines your relationship with them, which would it be? From, the quiet take of Parachutes to the vibrant soul of Viva La Vida, or the emotional rawness of Ghost Stories. Each album carries its own universe. So, which chapter speaks to your life, and what does that sound or theme represent for you?
I think I can name Moon music again because I said it on Twitter when I first heard the album in October in the cinema event. Um, I don't know what did I say exactly. This is the album that the world needs right now, and not only the world, but I think I needed it too, and a few others on Twitter as well. Um, that was really a special moment to, you for months they teased us with they released their singles for the album, and the day finally came on October 2nd where we were able to listen to it for the first time in the cinema. And um, I mean, some were lucky enough to get Moon Launch last year. I wasn't, but really that is not the problem because the cinema event was insane. I was sitting there with my parents who are also, I mean, they listened to Coldplay way before me, but I really made them hardcore fans. I mean, they said they went to Düsseldorf with me, and they said next time when Coldplay comes to Germany, they want to dance in the pit with me. So yeah, that was really special day, and yeah, I think Moon Music is the era that is most personal, most special to me. Although Everyday Life is my favorite album, but I really didn't experience the era. So yeah, Moon Music is it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Julian, for joining us for this special episode. And and that's a wrap on episode 4 of A Head Full of Coldplay. So for the fans, whether you laughed, teared up, or found yourself singing along in your head, we hope today reminded you just how deeply music, especially Coldplay's, can touch our lives. So big love to our guest and to you, our listeners, for being part of this growing global Coldplay family. If this episode meant something to you, share it with your friends, leave us a review, or drop us a message. We'd love to hear your story too. Until next time, keep your heart open, your headphones on, and remember the stars are always shining somewhere. So, from me, Asha, and Julian, take care and don't ever stop listening.